Another fine day, another wonderful day, another beautiful day, and we get together and have conversations. We get together and we talk. We get together and we talk about our community. And to talk about our community, we try to talk to people. We try to talk with people, especially people who are doing things, people who have done things, people who feel have the potential to do more for our community. Let me do the Cameroonian thing. Sorry for the late start. Every other person was here on time, and it was me, the host, the technician, that was behind time. We apologize, but one thing is certain: we're going to have a good conversation. It's going to be um, another wonderful day, and we'll just talk. Boss, welcome to Toridey.
Hey, it's my pleasure. It's my
Finally.
it's my pleasure. I mean, it feels good coming on here, like
Mhm,
being in person, meeting you guys. You guys have been doing a great stuff for the community,
mhm.
and it's just I said, okay, I'm in Dallas. I came in on Friday. I'm like, okay, I gotta visit you guys. So it's always a pleasure.
You know, say,
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are happy
is it
to be
morning or
with you
afternoon?
once more this Sunday, and we are happy to talk about things that are impacting our community. We have our guest, our beautiful guest, smart one, True Lion, very sharp guy. So it's going to be a very interesting conversation. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Now we actually did not really plan this topic. I just at the last minute just reach out to Trula and say, hey, I feel like we should talk about veterans, veterans competition, veterans in the United States. Just have that conversation around that topic. So bear with me when I just enjoy the conversation, the one I enjoy them, when I get questions, especially those who are watching. When I ask and I think say our guests will here for answer, especially because it don't really be inside the veteran milieu, and now it dey a little bit outside, those still really involved. More just see what will happen, boss. My first question for you would be how what to be the what to be your what to be the mindset, especially when the word veteran football in our community is mentioned. What comes to your mind right now?
Yeah, basically, what comes to my mind is an organization that has brought a lot into our communities.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at where the veteran, how it started,
Mm-hmm.
the number of teams, and how it has evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Because keep in mind, we have to talk about the positives, right?
Mm-hmm.
What it brings into our community. People looking forward to getting together. It's not only about football, but it's also about promoting social events like our food. Because when
Mm-hmm.
you go to those competitions, you see a lot of women even coming from Canada
Mm-hmm.
and all that comes. So bringing the culture. So it's not only about football; it's about music, it's about food,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about people coming together. So this is very a big positive, especially we're far away from home,
Mm-hmm.
but we are able to export our culture right over here in the United States, and you start seeing different communities.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go there, you don't only see Cameroonians, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see even Americans coming on and all that, and so it's a positive. When you talk about veteran, lots of positive things come to my
You know,
mind.
so what about you? Is that the same feeling you have when the
Yeah,
name veteran comes to mind?
yeah, it's the same feeling I have, but we have this common thing that makes us to come together, which is football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like True Lion said, it's not just about football, but football is like the cement that brought us together.
Mm-hmm.
And within the realm of football, another aspect of social life came up and added on, and is
Mm-hmm.
making the community to grow and come together in various aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm sure you were there when the whole veteran thing was initiated. What was actually the main goal? Like, why did we? Because that started, I think, 8 or 9 years, or probably 10 years ago. But what was the main objective? If you were part of the people who started it, or at least you had some ideas, why did they decide? You know what? Let's start a national veteran tournament, especially with you.
Yeah, before when we came to this country, there was what we call CAMSA.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more of like students because back then, the group of people that energized our community here were like more like students. But
Mm-hmm.
now those people have grown up to be like same people, right? But
Yeah.
now they've grown up, they have families.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not, they're not in the student. So when CAMSA actually fell out, there was that need, there was that void to
Mm-hmm.
fill up. So a group of guys started like the veterans. It was maybe 4 or 5 teams. Started it, then it's actually grown up to something like much more bigger. So it's always sort of around football. But then I think we recently we have started exploiting different part of our cultures, like the food, the music. So that's how it actually started. So there was a void. Kamsa was dead. We needed something that was gonna
Did you know about
energize.
Kamsa?
Yeah, I heard about it. I wasn't around yet. I wasn't around veteran culture yet when Kamsa was around. So yeah.
Okay, Kamsa was actually, I think, Cameroonian student
Association,
something,
yeah, it was coming, yeah.
something. So
Yep.
they had this wonderful competition that was organized every year,
Mhm.
and it was huge, just as huge as the
Exactly.
veterans. But now the veterans is on another level.
Exactly.
For some reason, it died. I don't even know what happened. Do you have any ideas why Kamsa failed?
I mean, I would not say, as I said, right, the
Mhm.
people that started Kamsa back then, it was like us, right? But we're much more younger. I'm talking about, you're talking about maybe some guys 30 years ago. So they were much more younger. So that those same people now, they have grown and now they're making more money. So now there's more money, right? They have like financial power. So Kamsa just died a natural death. And then those guys now just went to veteran, which actually in a format that better suited their present situation. So basically, that's why Kamsa actually just died, because when we for Kamsa back then, right, one of the main difficulties that they had were like funding, because most of those guys, most of us back then were students, not making good money. But now that everybody has grown and all that, making good money and all that, so it's just normal that that the veterans have taken over, like
So
the
what
whole
do you
football.
think, especially with what he's saying? Kamsa back then was started by the people who I'm actually managing or mostly introduced the whole idea of veterans tournament now. So these guys were younger, they became older, and instead of looking for a way to maintain that competition and start another one so we can have two major competitions, they probably just abandoned and then moved on to veteran, and now Kamsa is no more. What do you?
So I think, when you grow, your interest, your sense of interest do to change. Some people say paradigm change. So when they got age, they got busy, and the way they were seeing that association was not was not aligning with the life they were living back then. So they had to shift. But yeah, like you say, it would have been very interesting if they have kept it, or maybe like they were growing, building some people behind them that would take over whenever they feel like, no, we can't do this anymore. But yeah, they didn't. But actually, it gave birth to this veteran a concept that has blown up, and then now we have as a major concept in our community right now. That maybe they should have kept that Kamsa around to keep maybe the younger generation together. Like as the Toridey, we go around sometime to see this young generation, how they are coming together on their own, but they don't have that kind of competition. So it will have been a very interesting thing to have them playing that competition, and then now and grow to the veteran, and then young generation having their own competition where they can come together and then grow again, come to the veteran stuff. So yeah, it would have been an interesting thing. Like I said, that's why people grow and become wiser. And I still believe it's not late to come back and revamp it for the young generation, because they don't have that competition, no competition, even though they are training, they are playing, they are socializing every weekend, just like veterans are doing. But if they can, or we can, give them back that competition to allow them to be to live that balanced life of sports and social activity, yeah, that would be very, very nice. And it will also be a very stand ground for them to move from that young age to the veteran age, and that would be a very founding ground for them to grow and become a veteran and grow with the spirit of togetherness and all that.
Because when the veterans tournament started, I feel like that was one of the problems we had, where there was no competition from the younger guys, and then there was this wonderful competition for the older guys. So every other younger person wanted to participate, and then you start seeing funny things happening. A team bringing in a young player, and they are very happy playing and showing their skills and things like that. By the way, my next question to you was going to be: don't you think the same way um, Kamsa died because a group of persons who were managing at one point in time decided, you know what, let's focus our energy on this. It's the same thing that's probably going to happen with NVT, with a situation where maybe these older guys who are managing right now might just get to a place and they're okay, you know what, let's go and form over 50 or over 60 and then abandon this other league. And if they don't have persons to manage, it's going to die down also.
No, I think one of the problems with CAMSA also, so like since everything is self funded, and the students could not also keep up, with the financial demands, of the tournament, because keep in mind you have to travel, right?
Yeah.
And then also, if you look at the student dynamics of those Cameroonians coming over here, it's not stable. What I mean by that is someone can come over here, maybe go to school, after 1-2 years, maybe they get a gig or work, and they don't want to be classified as students anymore, right? So, or they going to school part-time and all that. So that dynamic was very difficult to maintain. So that's why you see NVT actually came and stood his ground, because now most of those guys are working, they're making money, so they have the financial power, And then if you look at the way NVT is also structured, there's not much time, to go ahead and babysit another like a younger tournament. You see, because most people who are involved in NVT, they like play and then they finance, so they are not in that spirit of ownership or I don't want to say leadership, but because I don't want to make it sound like, but they are not in that spirit of taking care of another like a sibling, well, foundation and stuff like that. So I think Kamsa just died a natural death because they tried to revamp Kamsa about 4 or 5 years ago. They had a junior tournament. I don't know if it's still going on, but from my understanding, they tried. I think they've been hosted a tournament here in Dallas, Texas. However, it's not that popular, because there's always like moving pieces when it comes to the students and those who control those organizations.
My next question I'm going to ask you is, are you actually contented? Because for me, the National Veteran Tournament, when it started, the objective was we already had these veteran clubs around the country, around this America particularly. What I was Arlington, what I was Allen, what I was and all these other clubs in Maryland and stuff like that. And the goal was, hey, you guys are training over there, these other guys are training over here, we are training over here. How about once every year we come together as veterans and showcase our skills? That was the initial reasons why this tournament was started. Do you think they are still respecting that? Do you think this tournament, the National Veteran Tournament, is still happening because we want to see these guys who train with Arlington, with Allen, with Spartan, with all of this? Do you think that is still the reason, or the objective has changed?
In my opinion, I think that's still the motivation in that. But when you start an organization, there are so many moving pieces, especially when it grows, and then you have to be innovative. But one thing about our community is that most of us like have never like built something from ground up. So we don't actually know what to expect especially when we face these challenges, right?
Yeah.
So there are challenges that I see, because I was part of CAMSA. I was a secretary general. I mean, not CAMSA, NVT. I was secretary general for about 3 years.
Okay.
So while within, I saw the challenges, especially in self-funding organizations like that, right? You are paying your money, so guess what? You must have a say.
Yeah.
You understand? So when you're in leadership, you're trying to bring in new ideas and all that. You against guys that, or against teams that feel as if you were trying to tell them what to do with their money. You see what I'm saying? So those are some of the challenges that I still see today. However, we have to start thinking like progressively and be bold to take certain decisions in order to evolve and in order to make the tournament get better viewership. Because the reason I'm saying this is because, okay, right now I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, right? I'm not that outgoing anymore, but I expect that if something is happening in NVT, it should come on my timeline. I should know about it. I just believe that a lot of people don't still know about NVT. It still remains in a group of people, just those who actually play. And I believe that there's so much potential to go beyond our comfort zones.
Innocent, are you happy with the way MVT is going right now, especially the fact that if you look at Arlington veteran, the people who actually register and train as Arlington veterans, when it comes to the competition, most of the times it's not them that are playing. The same thing that is happening for San Antonio, which explains why San Antonio hosted a competition the other day, and they were struggling to have in San Antonio, and they were struggling to have 11 players. If you go to Camda, that is almost the same struggle they are having. Camda was struggling to take 15 persons to San Antonio, whereas back in the days, 40 players of AVFC will show up for a friendly game in Houston or in San Antonio. Do you think with this the whole the way things are being done now, where the people who are actually registered and playing for this training for these groups are not the ones who usually represent them in the national tournament?
I mean, that's a very, very good question. I mean, this is even the problematic of veterans right now. You know, like I said, the veterans system came around to bring people together. I mean, a certain age of people coming together.
Yeah.
Knowing that we are no more young, we cannot run like we used to run. Now we build up that veteran concept for people of a certain age to come together and showcase their own skill. We can no more play or run like we were running in our 20s or in our
early
30s. So yeah. So when they say from 35 and above, we come together, we have fun. And for those who are even above 40, 45, even 50, they come because the sport is first for the health. And then it's something that bring all of us Africans, especially Cameroonians, together. It's something of unity and others. Whether you are from this part of the country or from which part, whenever it's football is about football, everybody speaks the same language. So, and this is what veteran was created in the first place to bring these a little bit elderly people to come together and showcase their talent in that range of age. So now it happened that teams now want to win that trophy more than the main objective of the veteran being of people of certain age exercising, coming together to showcase their skills. Say that, hey, even though I'm showing this age, I can still make this kind of move. I still make this kind of move, which is fun. All right, and then now we've lost that. We've lost that identity of veterans. Now everybody wants to win. So now, and they come along with a certain system of treachery. I'll say that this way. They'll come with younger players because they want to win the title. And I keep saying that we are going away from
not just younger players.
No, I'm coming there.
Yeah, players who are not even registered for the specific club.
I'm
just
coming
because
there.
They want to. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm coming there. So bringing younger player, all right, because they want to win that trophy. I want to make this a paradox of that trophy. You know, you can spend about, let's say, 40,000 to get players that are not even registered member of the association, all right? And you sponsor them to come play for you. You sponsor the flight, you sponsor their lodging, their accommodation, food, and everything. And when they go home, you give them a little bit of something, all right? And then now you spend about 40,000. So mind you that when you win NVT now, maybe they give you 5,000. That's have been implemented in the past 2 or 3
it should be 2 years
at least. So before that it was 1,000. So imagine somebody putting in that kind of effort to win this kind of money. So I'm like, what's the point? Because the point at the end, at the beginning, was not about the winning the trophy or the money. It was about people coming together, sharing who are sharing the same value of football. That they come together, they share their various experiences of life, and say maybe it was a very good platform for all the people to interact with younger, give them that wisdom why they are entertaining themselves. All right, but now everybody wants to win the title, and this is what is getting the veteran community astray. For me, we should come back to the basis, play among ourselves. If we win,
we
we win. If we lose, it's our loss, and then we have fun for that. So I'm gonna go into what he just said. Like somebody putting his money in, and he want to have his own way to. I want a word at least of that decision making process. All right, but now you can see that a lot of people at the NVT committee just taking decision. We understand that NVT is now a big thing. That is a very big machine right now.
Yeah.
But if you want to keep going forward, if not, NVT is going to die. Mind you, now NVT is so big that you have a very long waiting list. All right. And now people that are tired of waiting are creating their own competition. You see that?
Yeah.
Amongst them. So let me take the example of the Southern, which was formerly known as Texas Veteran Tournament. Because all the Texas team that was on the NVT waiting list, they can make it to the veteran level because Texas is over represented already in the national at the national level. So whenever they want to bring in a new team, Texas will not make it. No team from Texas will not make it. So now they created this one that is now called Southern Veteran Tournament to just allow these teams, these new teams that are coming in, at least to have a competition that they can be playing. All right. So we should come back to our basis. Let put aside this winning
bragging
thing,
rights,
bragging like when we leave aside this stuff of going get players from outside. Was shocked in where was it? I think it was the last NVT in Minnesota. I saw the team of Allen. I was like,
yeah.
Allen. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they were speaking Spanish. The coach,
the
coach wanted to talk to one of his players.
Yeah,
and he could not remember the player's name. He was asking somebody on the bench.
I need a translator.
Number 10, what's his name? And I was like, yeah, we have gotten to that place. But what's your take, by the way? The fact that those who are registered members for these local clubs, for this MVT group, these veteran groups, when it comes to go winning, go playing, go participating in the main tournament, we don't see them.
Well, I think that like you guys with Arlington veterans, right? I think that the teams, we actually differ, right? Because I cannot take what works for Arlington and try to implement it with Allen. But what I have been talking about, or what I see many members talk about, is the same thing Innocent has been trying to talk about, I mean, just a few seconds ago. However, I think that we have to gravitate now towards how do we get this problem solved? Like in our various chapters, not as a whole, because every chapter is different, right? Like I, for one, my opinion, I stopped playing about 6-7 years ago. I didn't play football for about a year. I was going to the gym doing different sports, but I went to Delaware to play, and I had my broken finger, my finger almost broken. So I stopped playing because for me, I was done. So I am happy seeing the team like go look for different for players everywhere. So far we can relate. For me, I'm not really like, for sure 90% will always be Cameroonian. But so far we meet people in a diverse communities that we can relate to them. I don't have a problem playing with those type of people because again, we have to keep in mind we are veterans, right? From Cameroon. There's not much time, so there are so many moving pieces. Today you might play 2 years, maybe you get an injury or job or whatever calls you apart, and you don't, then you go back to your team and you cannot even recognize the players because it's so many moving pieces, right? So we cannot really keep setting structures depending on whatever team that you are in. So what I think people should start doing now is like looking for solutions that will bring your core together, and then you try to implement it. Because if you start working, guess what other teams will do? They will copy. Now, you talked about Allen veterans having, you went to Allen because I was part of Allen veterans, right? And you could see some Spanish guys from Spanish heritage or whatever, right? Guess what? It's because Gwinnett has been doing that, and Gwinnett has been winning tournaments for quite a long time. But what Gwinnett did is that Gwinnett had a core. They had Nigerians, but these guys were like together. So you cannot really come and tell them like, okay, because they've been playing, those Nigerians have been playing for Gwinnett for 4 or 5 years. you know, and they maintain. They have a way to they maintain those core of players, you know. So teams gonna differ, but let's make sure that we actually keep these players, you know, for 2, 3, 4 years and try to sell our culture, you know.
And I think no one is disputing the fact that we can bring in other people from other communities to come and play. But when the whole idea becomes, I can go and get 30 players the eve of the competition to come and represent me, then we are losing that foundation that we had, where people are supposed to. Because for me, the original idea was we train as different groups. Now, once every year, we want to see these groups come together and demonstrate what they have been training, what they've been doing. When we meet at baby showers or all of these other events, right? We talk about it. Hey, I'm just coming from the training. Oh, Mesmale, you wait you video.
Yeah. But can I ask you a question?
Yes.
It's just like when you start a business, right? We have an idea, then you start implementing it.
Yeah.
Then there are unforeseen circumstances. You will change, right? You will not stick to that idea.
So let me answer the question.
Yeah.
If it was actually a question or you were trying to make a statement. But for me, this is how I look at it, right? Initially, you wanted to start a business. And this business that you wanted to start, this is the main objective of the business, to raise money for you to maybe take care of your bills and stuff like that. You understand? Now, you will not, after 1 or 2, okay, you know what? I'm changing this objective from raising money to, like I said, it is a veterans tournament. And the call for me, if I understand very well, because after I played the earliest edition, the call was for these guys who are a little bit older to something that we can do to encourage people to train in their different chapters.
Yeah.
You understand? And then once every year, come over here and show us what you have done.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, when we started this whole thing, everybody was participating. We're playing against guys who were probably 10 years older than me. And because I know these guys actually a veteran, they say, wait, I'll move on him and I'll relax and I know. But then, because this thing became so difficult, it was not even looking more like a veterans tournament. That was when they introduced the idea of over 45 or over 50. And that's the reason why you hear me saying, with this whole idea of over 50, before you know it, these people who are over 50 will feel like, you know what, why don't we just go make our own tournament and abandon this thing to these guys?
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying that, you know, those challenges would always exist, you know, even if you have it, because again, like 10 years ago, I used to be in Ireland, right? I'm no longer in Ireland. I've moved on, right? So even when I go back to Ireland and see them play, I cannot even recognize who is in Ireland and all that, you know. So there will be moving pieces. We have to look for a way to adjust. But one thing that we have to keep in mind is that when we go to play these competitions, it's not up on like a pay and play. I can pay my money and go there and see the coach tell me I'm not going to play. I have to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? But the benefits you're getting is that every weekend when you go train, those are benefits that we don't count. We only wait on the G-Day to see the bigger picture. No, there is.
Now, I like that point of the benefits. And now what is happening is those benefits are not even there. That's the reason why you go to a group like San Antonio, they are hosting a competition and they don't even have 10 or 11 players. Let me finish.
Boss. Yeah, go ahead.
Understand? The same thing is happening with Arlington. You understand? The training season starts, and guess what? They cannot even account for 20 players.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you a question? You have to go deep into those teams to see why they cannot even afford 20 players, because that's always been the case.
That's where I'm coming. You understand? When you the coach, for instance, like in Arlington Veterans, before we got to this place, we had a coach who outrightly told our players that you guys cannot take part in the veterans tournament. So I don't even see any reason why you're wasting your time training.
So, but who made him coach?
The president of the veterans.
Okay, so you have to change the structures of your team. That's what I'm talking about. You say we cannot take that as a general. That's not what DC is doing. That's not what. Who made him coach? It means he's not fit to be coach. How can a coach say something like that? You have to kick him out. That's why I say that you have to be progressive.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Now, do you think if a coach like that, whose mindset was, oh, this person doesn't deserve to play because you made another point which is really interesting. The fact that you were injured and you feel like you don't want to play anymore, you understand, doesn't mean that another person of your age or your age bracket is not willing to play. I'll give you an example. We have a player, they call him what's Peter? Bobby Peter. You understand? You should know him. He's probably in his late 50s. But I kid you not, this guy is still as active as me. And he wants to be part of the competition. He wants to play. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes. But then we have a system where they keep telling him, oh, you don't old. Oh, you know, if you play. I mean, are you in age? And so
then that's a problem with your team, which should be resolved. You know, that's a problem.
The question I was going to ask you is, now, these people who actually have this mindset of, oh, you don't old, you cannot play. What do you think will happen if they are part of the X school of the MVT?
Basically, sometimes, right, if we have a system that we voted for and we see that it's not working, you know, they are not adding a plus onto the system and all that, we should be able to sit down, you know, and say, no, we don't want this person anymore. You know, we should be able to move on. Like, for instance, when I left as Secretary General, a lot of people thought that, at one point also, I thought that maybe I'll go in for the presidency, right? But when I saw the dedication, the amount of work, you have to be true to yourself. I don't want to be in a position just because I want to be there. When I saw the challenges, when I saw that I could not change, I could not bring my the ideas I had, I could not change, I stepped back, even though I was popular, and I thought maybe I could go in there and have a really a good go at it, you know. So we have to be true to ourselves sometimes. You know, you cannot be in an organization for 10 years. You're president for 10, 15 years.
And you're complaining about Pobia.
Exactly. We have to stop that mentality because it's not good. Because that's the way you pass knowledge, right?
And it's not just about the president. It's even the other persons who are whether secretary or this
exactly.
and that. You guys cannot continue to just rotate amongst you.
Exactly.
And you're changing just the person at the top. And you think you're fooling us.
Exactly. Because you are not passing knowledge and you're not letting others grow. We have to stop that mentality. Because if I've gathered knowledge on how the NVT actually runs, right? I step back, look at others to go ahead and do it, right? They might bring in different ideas that I did not see.
Yeah.
You know, because we have different ideas. We are good at many different things. If I'm there for 10 years, how am I helping the organization? You know, we have to stop this mentality.
And most of the times they're there for this many years with their archaic ideas. And
even as coach, I cannot be coach in an organization for 10 years. No, it's not right.
It's not fair.
Yeah. Let others go there, make their mistakes and learn.
You can actually stay at the back and encourage them. Now, another thing I really wanted us to talk about, which he brought up already, is the fact that back in the days when we started MVT, every team, any team that was spending 10,000 to go and come back for the MVT, we're spending too much money. Nowadays, if you're not spending 40,000, 50,000, what's your take on that, by the way?
That's why I say we should come back to the basis. We should come back to the basis. Like, you know, we've seen it that this way of doing it is not making us growing at all. We are not growing out of it. So we hit the wall. Let's come back to the basis, and now we build again. So what is the point for you having a team of players? All right, they've put in. They are the one that makes your community grow. I mean, they are the one who chip in their contribution, the money, the membership, and all that stuff. Now you gather the money, you go get other people to come play, and they are sitting there willing to play, even 15, even 10 minutes. They are willing to. All right, but you don't give them that platform to play. So it's going to destroy us. That's why I say let's go back to the basics and let the member who wants to play veteran. This thing started to have fun. It was not about title. It was not about spending a lot of money. I remember even back in the days, we would say, no, we have a game in Houston. Everybody would chip in $20. That was enough
for us to go
Houston and come back.
Nowadays,
and you will eat
300, 400.
Some people will be even giving some fuel in their car. You just do like a carpool. You fuel the car. We go down there. You have something to drink. You have something to eat, and then you come back. And it was really fun. But now, if you want to say, no, let me take a team to go to a competition, they're going to take a budget that will be like, oh my, are we going for our fun or are we going some there for some other agenda? And this, let me just open this another problematic that this cause is making people looking at the administration with a suspicious eye. What are you guys doing with all the money?
Because then sometimes they're not even accountable.
Yeah, but
that's why I say another problematic.
Yeah, but I will give props to NVT, the way NVT, like on the leadership has been run. A guy like the treasurer, you guys know him,
JB.
Yeah, JB. They have been doing a very, very good job as far as accountability.
I don't think you're doing a good job.
No, JB is doing a good job.
No, I'm talking about finances and organization,
JB
because I know
been doing a very good job.
Yeah, I know what goes on there is like good accountability. But when you guys talk about money, when I hear these numbers, I'm happy. Because a media guy like you should be happy. You should try to go get some of that money.
No,
you know, see, bro.
That's a different question.
No, it's not different.
Let me finish. I have a question for him on that.
Listen, we have to be progressive in our thinking, in the way we think and all that. You know, there are so many gaps to be filled. I see so many gaps, so many opportunities and stuff like that, right? When you're talking about even this tip of self-funding and all that, spending your own money, we have business people, we have people with money now. They can fund you guys, but now you have to look at ways in order to provide them services and in order to highlight them so that they can bring in their money. Where now, instead of paying 1,000 for membership, people will be paying 300 and the other 700 will be subvented by these businesses. You know, we are leaving so much money on the table. That's my problem.
No. I wanted to ask. Let me ask him a question now. If I ask a question for Pigeon, if collectively we need to spend for NVT, the close to 5,000 persons every day be for that competition, we spend at least $2 million. That's the reason why. What do they call it? Minnesota. I think they came out with, I don't know, estimate where they make them for NVT. I don't know if it's true or not, but I hear say they make about 1.2. You understand? And me and you know the community will come out. If people really come, administrators really can, she don't say we make 1.2. Go check that book, find.
Let me say no, but let me ask you this. Go ahead.
I beg. Now let's assume that we spend all we collectively. You understand? We spend 2 million. Do you think for us to get together and spend 2 million, and the result would get them from that competition, the impact would get them from that competition, do you think it is fair enough for us to continue spending that amount of money?
Yeah, it's fair enough because they are big money.
What will be the impact for you for everything?
Okay, hold on. It's fair enough because they are big money guys in that competition, right? Guys who make a lot of money and stuff like that. So it's fair enough. It's not as if we're spending on just one thing. They're going there for vacation. They're spending on hotels. They're spending on food and all that. But how much of that money is actually going back to the community? That's why I actually told you that it's opportunity for you. But now you have to look for way for the gaps in how can I bring more value to these people? Like for the women that come over there for food, they make a lot of money. Last time I went to Atlanta, only one tilapia that I bought was $60. You know, you imagine that. But I'm happy to spend that because we are actually supporting each other. But now accountability, you were talking about accountability. Of course, it's because we don't have good. That's where our financial guys to come in, our business guys should come in. We should have a strong format where you can see transparency, right? Where you can know that, because we can use that. I've been asking this: do we have a database? Okay, do we have a way to collect data? Okay, that we can take to sponsors and tell them that this is the amount of jobs, amount of money we are bringing into your county, into your community, and we actually need Coca-Cola, we need Midzik, Guinness to come out here and sponsor these competitions. Because the way I look at it, right, we should be playing semi-finals and finals in high school stadiums where people pay and come and sit down, and we can create content and showcase on a bigger scale. Because Ethiopia does that. They were here in Wiley High, and it was on TV. Ethiopia does that. It was on TV, breaking news. You know, and that's where actually I want us to go. But if we don't have that vision, and if we don't fight for that, and if we don't lay the foundations, we ain't gonna achieve it.
Yeah, go ahead.
The vision itself is really good. The way you're presenting it is really good. But what I'm saying is, do we gonna keep doing it the same way, like allowing youngers to come in, or allowing people that are not member of the association to come in? You said it's a matter of every club's management. Is that right?
Exactly.
But now you see that it's a general problem.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
No,
It is a general
I
problem.
think if he says a general
It is
problem,
a general problem
it's
because
about
we've seen
80 to 90%
90%
of
of the
clubs
teams.
complaining.
Okay.
For instance,
Where do you get your data? Show me who's complaining.
bro,
Because it's what we talk about.
the truth na say no, they no be Kongosa, boss no be Kongosa.
Is that the main issue for them?
Let me
Yes.
finish.
Okay,
let
go
me
ahead.
finish.
Go ahead. Mhm.
If Arlington veteran up to now we're struggling to start training because we need to get 20 people for training, right? The same thing is happening with Camdal. I talked to their president. The same thing is happening even with Allen. The same thing is happening with San Antonio.
Can I say something?
Let me just
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
San Antonio organized a tournament, invited veterans. You understand?
Mhm.
And then we get there. Guess how many? There is struggle for get players. Austin, we win TVT last year. What happened with them?
Nasako,
Guess what? Man,
can I
finish.
say something? Yeah,
Man,
go ahead.
finish.
Go ahead. Man, don't forget my type and the man don't
Yeah,
forget.
I'll end now. If you answer. The Austin way he organized TVT, he win TV to how many mercenaries them and even younger players. And then before you know it, when they post their videos or pictures on our social platform them about veteran players, they look at the guys they are posting and the people who are actually playing now two different group of persons. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I hope I never forget. But let me say this, right? You're talking about membership and all that. It's always been a problem, even when MVT started, right? This time of the year, the weather is still cold and all that. It's difficult to get people out of their houses. Believe me, that's always been a problem. Secondly, you talked about NVT, that what is it, Savet, that organized Savet. How many times do they organize these tournaments? Because to be good at something, right? To be good at something, you have to use repetition. When you keep organizing, then you see certain patterns.
But the
listen to what
question
I'm
is
saying.
not about the organization.
No, but listen to it's
they are
organization.
Really good on organizing.
No, bro,
the
it depends on what you call
problem is
organization.
The number of players they brought in.
But that's what I'm calling
Their
organization. That's organization. That's part of organization.
So, Chula,
you have to check the availability of your players.
Chula, are you telling me a group would decide to invite people because they want to do their launch? Let me finish.
Yeah, launching.
A group like Savet, they'll decide they're doing their launching. This is something that's been running for more than how many months? And they have already announced that we're going to have a competition, a local competition. We are inviting Arlington, we are inviting all these other guys. And then on the day of the competition, not up to 12 players show up.
Nasako,
and
let
you
me
want
ask
to blame it on
when was that done?
Not up to 1 month ago.
Okay, that's the heart of winter.
No, it doesn't.
Bro, it matters. And I'm telling you.
Can I say what I want to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Back in the days, Arlington veteran under rain, under whatever weather conditions. See now, True Lion, the basic line for this thing is the fact that we cannot continue to invest our money. We cannot continue to invest our time. You understand? And the funny thing is,
the time.
Yeah, most of these guys that they bring, the mercenaries that they go and bring, are very, very disrespectful. For instance, it doesn't matter whether it's a veteran setting or whatever. There are things I can say to you, and there are things I cannot say to you.
The culture, yeah.
You understand?
Culture, yeah.
Based on our culture.
Yeah,
but do you think if you bring somebody from Nigeria, you understand? I'm not against them.
Yeah.
What I'm just saying is, even if you're going to bring in someone, right?
Yeah.
Introduce this person to the group as early as 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
Let them play with these guys. Let them.
But Naxo, how many teams are there now for veteran?
NVT.
About 34, right?
Yeah, 35.
Yeah.
You see how difficult it would be even to just spread like that discipline stuff amongst 35 teams. Imagine there are so many moving pieces, right? But if you can make that the culture, right, of your team, if you can focus and make that the culture of your team, but again, it's gonna be very difficult because I know my people. Listen,
I don't think it's difficult.
But bro, I know my people. You know, I'm telling you, right? These are challenges that I face, right? I know my people.
You know why I don't think it's difficult? The reason I don't think it's difficult is because guess what? These veteran tournaments, when we lose members, right? Especially when they're veteran, they have a list. The MVT, the board, the exco over there, they have a list. They know this person is a registered veteran member, let me finish, of this particular group.
And he knows that.
And you know that. Guess what? The only thing they're supposed to do is, at the beginning of the year, send us your list. Let me just finish.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
Yeah, I'll answer the question. Send us your list. We want to see how everything is happening progressively, registered members and things like that. The same way they will say, if this particular member dies somewhere, we know already that they were a member, they were active and things like that. That's the reason why we are giving them this money. That is the same way the National Executive Committee can say, hey, based on the list that you sent earlier, we are expecting these are the players, or at least 90% of the players that are going to take part should come from there. That's the reason why I keep saying MVT is progressively dying.
No, I don't think so.
We can look at the numbers. You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's just because,
let me tell you. Yeah. Let me tell you, right? It's first of all, when you talk about the board members, you have to understand that it's a part-time job, right? And when I talk about part-time job, it's these people barely do anything during this time of the year, right? I know this weekend they went to Ohio, right? But they barely do anything. So when you're talking about take the list and look at how many people are going to log in and you check the list and look at those stuff. I'm coming. Listen. You don't want to micromanage old people.
What do you mean by micromanage old people?
But let me talk. You don't want to micromanage.
Are you telling me if Pobia came out and say, oh, we cannot do this because we don't want to micromanage old people? No. That's the reason why you'll be okay with it.
Nasako.
No. Yes.
Nasako, what I'm saying is that those are little things that can be taken care of at every club level.
Okay.
All
right. Thank you.
Listen,
let me put something.
The same way the ID or the age fraud was to be taken care of at the club level. But guess what? When the clubs did not do anything, the national board thought
and they did well, right?
They did, and that's the same thing we were saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Listen. Why did they do well? Because they put in a lot of money in that. Most of the money, like 70%, 75% was put in there. Most of the money, and that was, for me, that was a big issue. You know how much if JB is your man, ask JB how much they have spent in order to kill ID fraud. A lot of money, and that's why they were not able to put even 5,000, 10,000.
A lot of money,
bro. Go ask over 100,000.
Okay, True Lion. Let me
ID fraud. I am telling you, that's how much NVT has spent.
It brings us back to where? It brings us back to the fact that go ahead.
Maybe we should make that point. We are talking about National Committee, the NVT committee,
right? They are putting in 100,000.
So now
to solve that issue.
Yeah, because
that was the main focus. We don't have a problem.
No, that was the main focus. All teams.
Hold on, let me finish. See, we have a bylaws, right? NVT as a whole that is being written, and every team has to go by that bylaw, right? So why is it not something that you think that it can be done from the national community? It is, but let me tell you why.
Because it's not a priority.
Even okay, thank you.
You said it should not be a priority.
It's not a priority.
Let me learn. You see, every team, if every competition, every even friendly game amongst veteran teams goes by the national bylaws, all right? That means
supposedly.
So okay, we'll put it that way. Yeah. Supposedly, because you know that there's some crazy stuff that is going on the background.
But that's what I'm telling you. You don't want to micromanage all people.
No, but we should not take that as a micromanagement. No, we should just say that now we have set ourselves some rules and we really want to go with those rules. If we don't do it, that means we are not better than our people back home.
And do you want me to say something honestly?
Yeah, go ahead.
They're following the rules.
Okay.
They're following the rules.
So that means the way the rules have been written, they let open doors for this
disorder to happen.
No, it's not that. It's just okay. I asked you a question. How many teams? You told me 34, right? You know how many executives are? I'm not sure, up to 6. Bro, to be candid, how will 6 people manage 34 teams.
No.
Let me answer the
Put
question.
in,
let me
put
answer.
in
Let me answer.
coercive measure,
Let me answer
like
the question.
sanctions
Let me answer the
from the
question.
The
national.
assumptions.
You
Let
guys
me-
this for the
assumptions.
IDs,
Let me-
right?
let me-
You
yeah.
guys this for the IDs.
Mhm.
It's you spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
You put in a lot
It's
of
one-
sanctions.
it's one thing at a time.
We kick out some teams that
do-
were not
Yeah,
doing
do you know
right,
do you know
and
how
it
many-
worked, right?
do you know how long it's taken to kill that ID problem?
He worked, right?
It's one problem at a time.
Let me tell you something. By the way, the ID problem, I don't even think they needed 100,000 to solve that problem. You know why?
You're in the
Because
same boat as me.
let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't even think they needed 100,000 to solve that problem. The only reason they needed 100,000 to solve that problem is because even within themselves, they are not honest. I'll give you a simple example. You understand? I cannot be playing in a team, and then my club is wanting to bring in a guy that is less than 35
Yeah.
to come and compete with you that I
Mhm.
know is probably in your late 40s or early 50s.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very okay with it. But
Sako,
guess what? Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish. Now, when people who are supposed to be veterans cannot be honest enough to say, no, this is not fair because I'll just normal example, Grand Toko or Ga Ekeme or all of these grand phases, you understand? They are old. I cannot allow a 35-year-old
Oh, no,
or
a
a 32-year-old to be
Competing
competing with them. Let me finish.
Mhm.
Guess what? At the level of the national executive, we know these players, we see them, we know them. You understand?
Not really.
I'm telling you something. We've seen players in the past where we all know this man is young.
No, not really. That's what you presume.
Why you?
No, let me tell you. I've been there. I was secretary general, bro. Let me give you an incident, right? In history.
Talk bad. We are not saying that
No,
MBT
no,
is doing bad.
no.
Let me
Go
put this
ask-
out
go
there.
ask- no,
MBT is
no,
not doing bad.
Bro, go ask
But
them.
we
Go
can
ask-
do more.
No, bro. Innocent.
We can do
Don't be
more.
mistaken. Go ask them who True Lion is. I was always fighting. No, when I'm a straight shooter, right? If someone does something good, I'm gonna say it like that, right?
Yeah.
In Houston, this is what happened. I had to go on there and basically look at this guy,
Yeah.
take a picture,
Picture.
and look at this guy and say, bro,
You are not.
you are not the one. But you know, even the United States of America, with the money they have, ID theft or whatever is the biggest issue that you cannot kill.
And True Lion,
All right.
True Lion.
You understand?
We
Wait.
can
let me
even
say something.
understand that.
True Lion, that is the reason I keep telling you, you understand. If the people who are at the national executive are honest with themselves, you understand?
They are.
They are not.
They are.
I will tell you they are not because I know some
I
of
know them personally.
Where True Lion,
Yeah.
True Lion, the same way I know them personally also. You understand?
Mhm.
If these people are actually honest with themselves, we will not have to spend
100,000
100,000 because we are struggling to. Let me finish. True
Yeah.
Lion.
Go ahead.
Because you are trying to control age fraud. You understand?
Mhm.
If these guys are actually honest, they will call each president from Ev and sit down and give them reasons why. If you allow me to,
No,
now,
I'm
maybe
not
I'll make
allowing
my
you.
point.
I'm just I'm
No.
allowing you, bro.
So this is my point, right?
Mhm.
It starts with up there. It started with up there. You understand? If first of all, these people feel like it's okay for a team to show up with 30 players who are not part of anything veteran. Let me finish.
Mhm.
If these guys up there at the executive bureau, they feel like it's okay for a team to show up with 22 players just because they want to come and participate in the tournament, whereas there's another team in the waiting list with 22 players who are actually training every year, registered, participating, showing up for one another, but they cannot participate because in the name of they are still waiting to have their own sport. You understand? We all know about these things. Like I told you, the youngest and the freshest example is Saved. They won the MVT just how many months ago? And then they are launching and they cannot gather
12 players.
12 players to play for them. It is a problem.
No, but that's
let me add
Innocent,
something to it. I'm saying that the national board is the governing board. I mean, you mean everything that happened within these various teams. I mean, the national board can
Malik is saying hi, by the way.
arbitrate that. You understand? They can set it right and say, okay, guys, we are stopping. You said that they've spent like 100,000 on identity fraud.
Well, that's don't quote me on that. I'm just giving you numbers just based on.
It's all right.
You know,
so I'll quote you.
No,
So you were just showing how the effort the
exactly,
put in. Yeah, that's good. they should.
And it was a team effort.
Which is really appreciated.
The teams demanded for that.
It is appreciated the way they did it.
So
but now we have this team over here. You, I mean, not you. I'm just saying you because you are Emeritus Secretary General of the NVT board. All right. Every year you ask every single team, the 34 that are a member of the NVT, to send their member list every single year. Am I wrong or right? You do.
I mean, that was progressively. It was not going 100%.
No, but now that's what it's going on.
Well, I'm not sure. I've not been.
No, that's what they're doing right now.
I've not been there for
send the list as early as possible.
And hold on, list with H,
everything.
I mean,
verifiable
name,
ID and everything.
Name and
no, verifiable. What do you mean by verifiable?
Yeah.
They're not saying
date of birth.
No. If I say everything is verifiable.
Every veteran team, or association now send to the NVT the list of member with H,
written on paper.
Exactly.
Written, not verified.
So
not
ID.
Written on that list, right?
Yeah, but it's not verified. Yeah.
When they ask for the list of player, why can't just cross-check this list of players?
No, because there are so many moving pieces. I told you there are so many moving pieces. On that day, someone says my job is not allowing me to go. What's his priority? Okay, on that day, someone is sick. What's it? So many moving pieces. So
you have a team of 200 members. 200, let's say 150 members say no, my job is not allowing me
to plan for the competition.
But again, you guys, that's why.
And you have
what I'm saying is that if you want to, we can make it.
We can fix it.
It's gonna cost money. That's what I'm saying.
It's not going to cost money.
No,
bro,
even if it costs money,
bro.
You said that you talk about Minnesota talking about their financial report of 1.2 million, right?
Who's all the proof?
It seems like
it's just a side comment.
It seems like we're just arguing.
He's taking it serious.
No, I'm supposed to take it. I'm supposed to take it serious because this is eating our community.
True Lion said that you should come to the table and get a bit of that money, right?
Exactly.
That means there's money. So if you say it's too much money, what I'm trying to say is that there's money.
But guess what? I also said.
So now we need to fix this thing so that we can keep growing, but not letting it die because the way it is going now.
Let me tell you
the way it's going now.
Let me tell you guys something honestly, right?
Yeah.
You guys are focusing on the wrong thing.
Oh, go ahead.
The reason I say that is because what you should focus is the gap you can fill to make them better. Forget about them. I know you're a member of Arlington Veteran. But forget about Arlington Veteran. Look at what they are doing goodly. Look at what they are doing badly. Okay. Come up with a solution. Okay. Pitch it to Arlington Veteran. If you make them better, if you make them have sponsors, you can use that. Pitch it to different clubs and become like
when my answer True Lion.
What this is what we've been doing.
Let me finish. True Lion, the problem with National Veteran Tournament right now is not about sponsors. Like you said earlier,
let me finish. Yeah, go ahead.
Finish.
Go ahead, bro.
Like you said earlier, first of all, you don't talk to say money day. My fine way can't take my own money. That one is we don't even dispute them. You don't talk for say approximately 100,000 just to fix the ID problem. You understand? And I was telling you, if the fish use that kind of money for some solution, for some team, if say we all fish done, you understand, and fix them. So when we spend that kind of money, what finish? This is the thing, right? You go look at the wrong things. I don't feel like we are looking at the wrong things because, like I talk, are they for position where I didn't talk for all of these presidents? Are they for position where I go do their events? You understand? Are they for position where even before the way to happen with Savannah, what happened? I talked about it one time on Toridey. You understand? When these people have events, they have baby shower, they have cry, they have all of these things. The people, the way it come for that event, can give money, can support. And the people they play, I don't do Austin that event. I don't do Houston that event. I don't do Cam that event. I don't do Allen. All the veteran group that around. Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't do their event. And if you go to their events and you go to their training, and then now when it comes to TVT and MVT, you understand?
It's a different
It's
setup.
a different thing. And then when you meet up the players, the people that you know them for corridors or for what's if you hear they are complaining, you understand?
Yeah.
Now what the tribe will tell you, say, you go look and like say no, maybe any problem.
Let me tell you something, my brother.
Really deep.
Let me tell you something, my brother. You are good at what you do. Toridey, you there for corridor, you there for this, for the Congo Sadem.
No, it's not about
no, but this man they understand my language.
No, I don't understand.
You have ears everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have ears everywhere.
And now it becomes confusing, right? The thing what they tell you, I say, let your ears be on the ground. You know, as they say, right? You get your ears on the ground so that you can hear message coming from afar, right? But now use that to empower yourself. Lose that and the solution, because let me tell you this: solution will not come from
outside.
Those 34 teams. I'm telling you, I've been inside.
They will come from where?
You have to come now with a game plan, because you can make that change because you have the media.
Okay, ma answer you from that level.
You see what I'm saying?
Ma answer you from that level, and that's the reason why
we are here.
When we came here, I told you we need to start having these conversations, because me, right, I don't already tire for people that will complain all time for me. Oh, now you be Toridey. Now you people will talk about these things. You understand? And guess what? You just come up with them, say JB did do a good job. I feel look that camera at JB, say JB, you are not doing a good job.
And you have your reasons.
I have my reasons.
Yes.
But guess what? Let me finish. Guess what? After this, JB omito me for one Salome. I use an example. Ma finish.
Yeah.
I use an example. JB omito me for one Salome.
JB is not a cool guy. Not just example.
JB is not a cool guy, as I think. So now, but I just using the example.
Yeah.
So JB omito me for Salome. JB go she done for board of directors them. When they get some event for wait, they find videographer or photographer for hire them. They'll bring Toridey a name. JB go say, "No hire you." You know, we talk say and social not hire him because he talk the truth about the way we manage MVT, and it hurt me. You understand? I'll give some simple example. It look funny. My own club, AVFC. Can you imagine they had an event and somebody was like, "Oh, can we go to Toridey and sit down and talk about it?" Man, finish.
Yeah.
You understand? Guess what happened? So person talk for they say we need to go for Toridey because Toridey na black leg, because Toridey na opposing. Only because there was this situation that was going on within the group, and I was outspoken. Like, hey guys, we are messing up this whole thing. Maybe I think we should manage it like this. Go ahead.
And guess what? And that's why I say you're focused on the wrong things, right?
Wow.
Use that to empower yourself. The reason I say that is that when I was a Secretary General of MVT, I said that 75% of the referees should be Africans, should be Cameroonian and all that. You know, my guys kicked against me. You know, my guys kicked against me. And then when we went to Delaware, most of the refs were actually Africans, and they did a good job. The reason I say that is that we should keep our money in our community. We should try to keep our money in our community. So the only problem I had is that we cannot be paying refs about
no, only paying all these international
about
players.
16,000, 18. Forget about that. About 16,000.
Why you still forget about that?
I'm talking about MVT. I'm talking about the leadership. Right?
Guess what?
I'm not talking about the various clubs.
No, we are talking about
control.
We are talking about MVT and how we can keep our money within us. And it starts with us in the diaspora.
But bro, listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Right? Listen.
Go ahead.
I'm talking about point of leadership, right?
Yeah.
Because the leadership is there to benefit the clubs, right? It's ordered to there to take care of the finances of the club, right?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm talking from that point of leadership. Leadership is the one paying the refs, not the club. You see what I'm saying? So I, as Secretary General in there, I had some influence. You understand?
Yeah.
So I was trying to influence that because we have kids.
Yeah.
It's like a part-time job, referee. We have people who go ahead and certify.
Yeah.
We should empower our kids to go get those ref certifications. I mean, making money on the side.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a good part-time income.
Yeah.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So
I really understand.
I refuse to be in an organization where we pay people 16,000 over the weekend, and most of those people are not my people.
Let me ask you a question.
You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. Now, you just made a very, very good point. We should be looking for how to keep that money, the $2 million, circulating in our community. Now, when a team like Allen go and hire 23 Mexicans, right? A team like Arlington Veteran go and hire 10 Nigerians. Just an example, right? I'm not saying that was exactly what they did. A team like Boston, I think, they go and hire 5 international players. A good thing, but they're coming from Cameroon. Whereas the whole idea, and you say this all the time, the whole idea is how can we, first of all, take care of our community in the diaspora? How can we, first of all, manage for that money to turn around our pockets in the diaspora? Yet, the very first thing we all want to do is when the Chula, you don't know how the thing hold me.
No, but that's why I say you're focusing your energy on the wrong place.
No, I'm not. My question was going to be
after he's going to tell us what writing should we focus on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But that's what I'm telling you. You're focusing your energy on the right
Okay,
place,
tell us the right thing to
because
focus on.
Listen, I just gave you the instance of the ref, right? When I was people overcame, I mean, they opposed me and stuff like that, and I felt like, okay, I was the only one and all that. I backed up a little bit, right? But there are other places that those people are doing good. Like I told you about the vendors. Most of those vendors that come over there are Cameroonians.
Yeah.
So they are giving a platform for different business people. You understand?
Which is
now,
good.
which is good.
Really good.
So not everything it looks bad, right?
No,
so
we are not even
so
saying
now
that
I'm
everything
telling
is looking bad.
Toridey that now that he has a lot of information, because one thing people can say that Toridey, blah, 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 whatever, right? But when you show them those gaps where you can add value to whatever they are doing, all what you need is one team. You don't need to, that's why I say don't focus on 34. Find one team that you can influence. Show them how you can give them gaps, how they can sell more. You already do it in the t-shirt business. Because when I ask MVT, is that, okay, we have a whole 365 days, just one day that we go NVT. But I don't see jerseys. I don't see this. I don't see you guys exploiting. They are, I can be home. I got 2 kids. I got a wife.
So
I don't see.
True Lion, you're still missing the point.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
Let me say
Okay,
this.
yeah, go ahead.
You're still
You
missing
are-
the point because the complaint I'm actually putting forth, right? I can even add your own complaint that you brought in. The fact that we are spending so much money, but guess what? About half or 3/4 of this money is leaving our community immediately. You started with the whole idea of rest.
Okay, let's go into details.
Let me finish.
Let's go in detail.
So this is my concern, right?
Yeah.
My concern is the fact that we have a group like Arlington Veteran with about 200 members initially. You understand? And these 200 members, they are registered, they train and they play. But then when it comes to the major competition, which is the NVT, they want to go and bring 23 players. And to bring in these 23 players, right, we are going to spend about 30 to 40,000. Meaning that this 30 to 40,000 is not going to come into our community, but it's coming from our community to other communities.
Let me ask you a question.
Give us a solution to that problem.
Yeah. First of all, there's no way we can control that. Do you know why? The air tickets you're playing and the hotels take about 3/4 of that amount of money.
No, that's not true.
Oh,
that's not true.
Hold on. So
let me answer
where's
you.
Most of, go ahead.
Okay, most of the money is going to the players because guess what?
How much?
For instance, for the 3 days, you're paying some players. How much? Let me just ask. How much you think they pay Achille Emana for camp play the ball?
At least 2,000.
More than 2,000. About 5,000.
At least. I said at least.
Yeah, at least about 5,000. So for Achille Emana, Wome, Makun, and who else? One other guy. Let me finish, right?
And Jemba.
Eno.
Okay, but other team, Eno and all of that. Other guys that they come internationally, right?
Yeah.
If they not spend if they didn't 10, if they not spend for them, at least 40 to 50,000 was spent on them. Now, this is my point, right? Take that guy out. That guy and nationals, the way we want to have them play.
Star power. Star power.
Yeah, go now to teams like Allen. How much you think say Allen spend for bring other players and buy their tickets and pay them? You think they pay them $200?
No.
They pay them at least 500 or 1,000.
Yeah,
because even Arlington.
Yeah, but so that doesn't add up to 30,000. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish. Even only Arlington, you understand? Now the reason I tell you, I did compare with what we used to spend and what we're spending now.
Times have
Guess
changed,
what?
bro.
True Lion.
Yeah, times have changed now. People get
Go ahead.
Times have changed.
True Lion. It's not we know that
No,
times
no,
have changed.
No,
we are talking about the principle.
The thing I say no, like I talk, NVT, the progress to its death, whether we like it or not.
No,
that's
no,
the truth.
no.
No, that's the
bro,
truth.
bro,
Let me tell you something.
Bro, let me ask you a question.
You see my
yeah, go ahead.
This
that's
is my
true.
point.
If we don't address
NVT, the progress to its death.
Died.
The only reason being, the core groups, they are Arlington Veteran, where they pioneers them for NVT, right? They already start get problem for membership. Now the same problem way Savet get her now. Now the same problem way Kamda get them. But guess what? Go look at other smaller groups in the community. Like for here, we get Mansfield, we get Kafa, we get all of these. They are very organized. Even out of the fact say that they kind of can play ball. Go now for what events them. Where Arlington Veteran member get problem, how many people they show up for you? Because the whole idea now say, oh, nobody you go bring 20 people they can play national veteran for you. Go bring them, make the can assist you. You understand?
But now,
no, to be honest, let me add something to what he's saying, that NVT is going to his death if we continue this way. You understand? Now he's pointing out something that most people are saying it like small, but it's really deep. The problem is really, really deep, and we have to take it seriously.
Bro, you leave a Cameroonian group that has 25 members who are registered and are doing everything. When something happens in the community, they go and support. You keep them outside, that they are on the waiting list. And then you are actually sponsoring groups who are going to bring, and you are talking about keeping things in the community.
No, but those are
how are we keeping things in the community when even our national veteran tournament, we are not even participating?
If NVT dies now, all those accessories thing bringing out of it will not work.
It will not work.
It won't. We won't have it anymore. But like I said from the beginning, if we don't go back to the basis, go back to our veteran stuff, it's the veteran stuff that brought NVT to this big to be this big machine, this big organization right now. So if we let it die, like imagine we have now Southern veteran tournament.
Yep. They moved it from TVT
that is
to
Southern,
STV.
Southern because they want
the name's always changing.
Yeah. Hold on.
Guess what?
The name changed for a reason. Because they are including Louisiana in that. They are including Oklahoma in that right now. So it cannot be Texas no more. It's Southern. So imagine now Southern veteran tournament grow to be giving these people the platform they want to.
Do you
think they want to go to
NVT? Let me ask you a question.
NVT again?
Who inspired Southern?
Who what?
Who has inspired Southern? Just like Kamsa. Listen. Kamsa,
no, let me finish with you one talk.
Kamsa inspired NVT.
Yeah.
Right? Filling the gap.
But Kamsa is dead.
No, wait. Let me finish.
Yeah. And now NVT is inspiring Southern, right?
It means the NVT could die some more time like
that's what we're saying.
That's exactly what we're going.
Guys, right?
That's exactly what we're going. If we are not careful,
there are always challenges, right? I am talking about the guy from within that has been within, right? I do agree that some structure is needed, right? But I won't try to tackle things the way you guys. For me, where I see problem, there's opportunity. That's why I told Toridey that he should, and you should not only limit yourself to you're thinking about NVT, because what you're doing over here, right?
I like what you talk
goes
about.
beyond NVT.
And guess what?
And I've always said this: the people that are leading NVT, even me, that I was there, when I was not Secretary General, I ran my mouth about certain things. When you get in there, then you realize that the monster that you are fighting is even within your team.
We are not fighting.
No. I'm just using words like that.
Before we continue, let me just give a shout out to those people.
Don't try to
of NVT. No, they are doing a very good job.
No, don't try to sugarcoat things.
No, I'm not sugarcoating. I'm acknowledging.
Listen to what I'm saying. No, listen.
I'm saying that we can do better because
exactly.
I know JB from a personal standpoint.
And it's not even, bro. It's not even.
The president, the secretary
general.
The secretary general.
Let me finish.
All right. That small number of people, they are really doing a very good job to carry this big organization because MVT is huge right now. So we are really acknowledging the work they are putting in. You understand? So we are not like downplaying what they are doing. We are just saying that, hey guys, we know you have a lot on your table, but if you don't pay attention to this aspect that is going on right now, we're going to end up in a very.
Let me say something.
Let me say something. And Mark, let me clarify some point.
Let me say something.
Mark, clarify this point, I beg. And that is the same thing I'm saying. No one is sitting here saying that you guys have not done anything or you guys are not doing anything. What we are saying is, you might look at it like, oh, look at the numbers in Minnesota. It was 10,000 persons. It was this and this and that and that. But guess what? That was the same number Kamsa was having at one point in time until it collapsed. The fact that we now have a TVT, which has now turned to an SVT.
Southern Veteran Tournament.
Yeah, SVT, right? And if you look at the people who are managing the TVT, who have turned it now to the STV, it is this same group of people who have decided the National Veteran Tournament is supposed to have an over 50. You understand? What I'm telling you is, whether we like it or not, these are just signs that there is a problem at the level of the NVT. Once you form a veteran group and you say, oh, let veterans come together and do this thing. And then at one point in time, you're like, within this veteran, there should be real veterans. Then there's a problem.
Yep.
Over 45. How can we solve this problem to make sure that within a veteran, it is just veteran? The same problem that we had with, can I just...
Yeah, go ahead.
The same problem that we have with most of the groups, you understand? It is supposed to be a veteran group until a veteran show up for training and then they cannot play because according to another veteran, we really want play, leave maybe young picking the play.
Like so let me ask you.
Yes.
What's the format? Is the format of the Southern different from NVT?
No.
It's also self-sponsored, right? They'll run into the same problems. Let me tell you something.
Which means all the groups are destined to fail.
Guys, that's what even
that's what you're saying.
Saying.
Guys, let me tell you something.
Every group
but listen. I've told you guys the secret. The secret is about sponsors. I keep telling you this, right? If you bring in sponsors, listen, guys. Listen.
It's not about money.
What is the issue?
We are
talking about veteran players not participating.
The politics.
We are talking about
run it, not
veteran
money.
players who are registered. They are not participating. You're talking about bringing sponsors.
That's housekeeping stuff.
That's
housekeeping stuff.
The issue
that's
here,
at your club level.
I say. Club level.
The issue is not about money.
Bro,
the issue is about the policies.
How can you run a tournament in America without money?
We already have people who are paying the money and everything.
It's hurting them and they're the ones making those.
It is hurting them because you guys don't want to involve them.
How did NVT grow to this big machine?
Because we had
Did you have any
Nasako? Yeah, you don't make it. They only call you different. Nasako, listen to something I'm saying, right? I've told you this. If someone is spending their money and they are playing, they want to make the decisions. But guess what? If you say, okay, I can bring in Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is bringing 50,000. You become like a dictator. You impose on people. People gonna toe the line. You understand? It changes things.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I say it.
Okay.
We have been arguing this same argument.
I can say
we can argue this for the next 10 years.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, go ahead.
The only reason we have what we have right now, which looks like a dictatorship, you understand? And that's the reason why you ask my opinion. I'll be honest with you. JB and the rest of them are not doing a good job.
Yeah, and
let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish.
Go ahead. Yeah.
JB and the rest of them are not doing a good job. You understand? Until we go back to that place where the National Veteran Tournament is for veterans. They are not doing a good job. Doing a good job doesn't mean we play a National Veteran Tournament and then every person, nowadays we see even people who are 45, they are rushing to go play the over 50 games. When you go to the over 50 games, you have more veterans playing the over 50 games than more Cameroonian veterans playing the over 50 games rather than them trying to play for their various clubs. The problem we have right now at the veterans tournament is the fact that the people who are registered veteran members, the locally registered veteran members, we are not doing anything to make sure they are participating at the national level. That is what I feel the problem is.
Okay, that's what you feel the problem is. Okay.
And that's why I keep telling you, it is not a sponsorship problem. Like you said earlier, all of these veterans, bro, we off here, even if they talk today, you know, me all veterans, they put 5,000. You understand? Me have people 5,000. We all people 5,000. But the question is, let me finish.
I don't believe that. Yeah,
finish. Yeah. The question is, I did put the 5,000. Wait to be my return on investment.
Exactly.
Let me finish. Exactly. Let me finish.
No, he's not talking about the member. He's talking about him being.
You need to even struggle to understand.
No, when I make a side comment, it's not to stop.
No. The problem I say, you need to even struggle to understand. This is the problem, right? I don't put my 5,000. I never talk say I must play. You understand? But I want to see a group of veteran guys where they don't put in money. You understand? We travel as a team. Let's say we decide we're going over there 40 players. Or any man way one way JC, one way was you understand? We go there, we can decide, you know what, let's bring in 5 people who can help us. They are of age, but they can help us. Now we introduce these people early, right? So may they know our group. May they know say in as much as all we do for a veteran with Weddy JC, True Lion, na my grandfather since, even though I make money passy. You understand? Grand Tobos, na my grandfather way, hey, anyhow they even mess ball. I know coach is a mess a man. You understand? But when the whole idea for veteran tournament don't be now bragging rights, we must win. It is okay for a team to show up with 23 players who were not even in the initial list. You understand? That is when I start telling you, ma finish, sorry, it take long. That's when I start telling you, JB and the rest of them are not doing a good job. Una get one thing for Duam. Una be don't start Duam when it becomes to age. The only reason they were fighting the age thing was because they be realizing, guess what? The people who are veterans who are supposed to be playing are not playing. Now, the reason why they spend more than how much money you talk for sort that issue out. Now, the next problem don't come up when they're waiting. The people when are Cameroonian veterans where they be supposed to play, are they actually playing? They are not playing. Why? Because Allen Fee say, I have to dump all of my veteran players and go get 23 players. Savet thinks, you know what? I'm going to go bring 17 players from wherever. You understand? And then what happens? It is killing this group because at the end of the day, Arlington veteran cannot chill. Go to Kamdal, it's the same thing. Go to all of these other groups, it's the same thing. My point is, the reason why they invest money for sort out that issue now because they want to see veterans playing, and not just veterans, but veterans from our community. So if you never solve that same issue, when it comes to people bringing mercenaries and all of that, then you're not doing a good job. You're not doing a good job because guess what? We are heading to that stage where Arlington to go put your own 50,000 together. They bring 23. They not bring 23. They bring a Kenyans. Another person go bring in Gabonese. Another person go bring in Hispanics and all of that. And then this tournament will be about another person's. And what does that do? It will bring another problem where you talk with all the money will be gathered and during the year will ship to other communities.
But okay, I'll ask you a question, right?
Yes.
Nasako, what's your focus? What's your focus? What's your main goal? Because
ask me the question, my answer.
If the Allen players or members complain? No, I don't think so. Listen, I'm talking now. That's not the answer for you too.
Go ahead.
No, I don't think so. Were the numbers at Minnesota down to show that people are not attending? No, the numbers actually went up.
You are looking at attendance.
Listen. What I'm telling you is that, right, there's a scale of preference, right? There's always gonna be problems. You now in leadership, you look at the problems that you can solve, the most pertinent problems, and you actually try to solve it. You see what I'm saying? And now, the reason why teams, all what you said about fixing the ID problem, it was a collective, right?
Yeah.
All the 34 teams wanted that to be fixed. That's why leadership felt that
there was a need,
and they felt that need, and they went ahead and did it. Now, what you are saying is a problem with Arlington.
No, it's not.
No. Listen.
Why is it Arlington?
Listen now.
No, we don't really give example. Say Savet,
but listen.
Savet organized competition on the other. No.
Listen. I'm not land.
No. You want maybe if you go for land, a true lion.
It's a problem with Arlington. It's a problem with Savet. It's a few clubs having that problem because it has not gotten to the problem it has not gone up the scale of preferences where leadership has to deal with it. So it's a housekeeping problem. And what I'm trying to say is that we have objectives, okay? And I believe that one of the most important objectives we should be going against is to have sponsors, because with sponsors, when you come, then now you can impose rules, or you can when you have the rules and regulations, someone goes against it, you can hammer hard now because you have the money, because you are not only depending on their money. It's not because they are bringing 10,000 for registration, that they as teams will impose, because these teams, your teams, they have a lot of influence on that leadership. You see, we felt it. They had a lot of influence. You cannot do certain things to them because they are the ones actually sponsoring you. The leadership is there for their benefit, not the other way around. So they control leadership a lot. Those are things that if you are not inside, you cannot see. Understand. You're talking from the outside. You're talking as a fan. You're talking about the player, because your presidents, they come into those things. They don't do what they don't tell you guys the truth.
So let me put this in another word. You mean if we want this change to happen, it will come from the teams, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, and this is what we've been saying. So we are putting it out for these teams to
look for a good route to go, because it's not getting to.
Is there another bigger platform in the community than Toridey?
No, but that's what I'm saying. You're coming. You're talking. They're not listening to you.
No, they're listening. What are you talking about? They're not listening.
No, but I'm getting what you're saying. So next point, we're gonna get like 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, get JB.
President.
JB and
JB will not
president. No, JB is gonna.
JB not gonna come. Then the fear. Let me tell you something. I'll be honest with you. You understand? Why you told they show the fear? You were here when we had the conversation about Arlington veteran. All I did was put a call through. I did not even call him. I called the president of Arlington. The president of Arlington veteran called me and said, "Hey, you guys have discussed this issue on your platform, and I feel like there's too much misrepresentation with what you guys were saying or what your guest was saying. I will come to your show next week and we will address it. And I was like, fine. You understand? What happened?
He cancelled. He didn't
He
come.
cancelled.
Go again
And guess
after
what?
him.
Guess
Go again
what?
after him. Yeah.
I'm not here to beg for any praise.
It's not
let
about
True Lion.
right.
True Lion. Let me tell you.
We're gonna try a different
Let
way.
me tell you, right?
Exactly.
We're gonna try.
Even before they
Call
were
them.
they were
Call
doing they
those
were supposed to
president.
go for the election last year. One other person called me and made a proposition that was wonderful. He said, hey, I feel like you have a platform and we can start using that platform to transform the way our people think. How about we have a national debate before these presidents start doing their campaigns and stuff like that? We can call the two of them, let them meet, let them present their projects, their agenda and everything. Guess what? This person, I don't want to call him because I don't want to run certain people down. You call this person, he answers, and once you start talking, he's like, I'll call you back and this and that. And they never.
Should I tell you why? Some people are not comfortable to come on camera and talk like
That's
that.
why I'm telling
you. Some people have the control. Some people have the control. That's why I'm saying that. Man, let's talk, man. The way you're going, we have almost the same ideas, but you going about it the wrong way. Different way. Because I have been inside and I see so much opportunity.
Okay, right? You'll be inside more as the Secretary General, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you from a media perspective, you understand? I've spoken to these persons also. I have called them. Most of these people, I know them personally.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me finish.
Let me ask you a question.
Ask a question.
You know, I know these guys, more than these guys even be like for 20 plus years. Those are guys that I don't deny.
You understand? All we want is for these people to, if they can sit and talk, bro. I know one call people that name for here. I will get personal problem with them.
No, but that's
talk. You understand? I know one call people that name. I will get personal problem with them.
It's about delivery. You still you still don't understand.
Listen, it's not about delivery.
Yeah,
it's about truly. You said you should know for here. There are basic questions about an organization. If you own that organization, if we decide right now to start doing to do an interview about Toridey, as the person running Toridey, I should be able to answer all your questions. You understand? Even if I cannot answer your questions, I should say, oh, I did not think about this. Maybe I'll get back to you with.
But you know why Toridey is different? Let me just throw one thing. Do you know why Toridey is different?
Toridey is not different from MVT.
It's different. It's different.
Are you telling me?
Because
I'll ask you this question now. Are you telling me the people who are managing MVT and are not supposed to be accountable to our community? I'll ask you a simple question. The reason I'm telling you Toridey is not different. Understand my point. My point is that as the person who is managing Toridey, right? If somebody calls me up for an interview, that's why I say, if as we're sitting right now, if you start asking me a question, I should be able to answer. Now, when you reach out to a president or you reach out to whoever, JB, all of them, I know they're busy guys. You understand? And I'm not saying they must come here to address certain issues. You understand? We meet in forums and we have this conversation. Do you want me to tell you what someone told me one day in a forum when I proposed something? And do you even want to hear what I proposed? Don't you think it will be a good thing, right? If we have MVT tournament, to have a symposium on the side, right? Where we bring all this Achille and Manage, Jemba, someday Samuel Eto'o will come. You understand? And we all have kids who are playing football. Don't you think it would be a good thing for
them
us
to hear,
to organize a symposium where our wives or our girlfriends or our side chicks, they take our kids, you understand? They take our kids there and they just listen from Samuel Eto'o, on Jemba, all of these guys. Don't you think it's a good idea? Yes or no?
It's a good idea.
Guess what? That was what I proposed in the forum. Do you know what one of the persons from the executive told me on that forum? Oh, who do you think you are? Do you think you're too smart? The people who are running the NVT, the people who are at the ESCO, are people like doctors and this and that. They are far more smarter than you.
But that's what I'm saying,
I
right?
mean,
but listen.
This is my point.
Yeah.
Right. By the way, the person affects an empty head. If he recognize himself, I'm actually talking to you. Be empty head. Now, why do we think they're messed up the way? So,
but listen to what I'm saying.
Yes.
Listen to what I'm saying, right? What you do on a daily basis, you get far better. You get far more experience than what you do on a part-time basis.
Why you not love
That's why I'm
about
saying
the
that.
person being an empty
Listen.
head?
That's why I'm saying that Toridey is different than NVT, because NVT, those guys are in leadership on a part-time basis, right? It's more like seasonal.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But you do this thing every day, so you get better at it. You know. So that's why I'm saying that even when you want to fill a gap, right, in some association, you are the ones who is on the media, right? You know what you're talking about. But for you to be able to prove your concept, you have to put it into play. And sometimes it will demand you go into another community and do that. Then you people of your communities, they see that, they say, whoa, we didn't know that.
So technically, what you're telling me right now is take my resources and go invest in another community. Whereas you said earlier that we should be looking for ways. Truly, your man tell you something.
When you say out of community, you mean another team.
Bro, listen,
another team as in
another veteran team.
Listen,
not like your
this
own
guy you wear different hats, right? You've been telling me how you go do this thing. So I'm not basically telling you that. I'm telling you that take a project, okay?
Like Toridey.
Take a project, a sub project on that Toridey.
No, Toridey is a project already.
Exactly, but you have different little things happening. You understand? So take a little project, a small project, where you can add value, like a micro project. Okay.
Why do you want me to take another project when Toridey is already a project that is adding value to the community?
Just taking an example.
I'm giving you an example.
No, you cannot take another example when I already have a project. You cannot tell me to go and dress up when I'm already dressed up.
No, what I'm saying,
I've already taken Toridey. I'm adding value to the community already.
Okay, you have to choose
from that standpoint.
What I'm saying is
so
that,
what is this? He's saying that Toridey is a big organization with branches.
Yeah.
You have like maybe let's say you have a studio photo, all right. You have a broadcasting part, and then you have a platform, a media platform part of that, all right.
Yeah.
So he's like maybe take part of that and go do something out of the community. Is that am I getting you right?
Yeah. Okay. Am I getting you right? Yes. Let me.
Doesn't make any sense because at the end of the day. Toridey is Toridey, and I'm already doing what I'm doing with Toridey.
Toridey, listen to something.
So whatever thing you want to say
but you have not even listened to me. Listen to something I'm trying to
Go ahead.
Normally, the NBT leadership is not usually the same, right? It rotates.
Yeah.
You understand? So today you might not have a good relationship with you, but I might look for maybe
it rotates with just the president.
I can look to Charlotte. I can look at Charlotte, veteran president.
Yeah.
I say, man, I want to create something good with Charlotte veteran.
I'm getting you.
We have a good relationship. We are like brothers. I want to add value. I want you guys to do this. I want you guys to take videos on your training. I want you guys to send anything. I edit them, I put them together, and we start advertising. I want you guys to make t-shirts, and we start advertising. We see how we can grow Charlotte veteran, right? Then I want you guys to go to local businesses. We see if we can get some little sponsorship.
And like I keep telling you,
but listen.
Like I keep telling you, True Lion. No. That is not the concern we have. The concern we have is the fact that people who are veterans who are supposed to be playing, who are registered, they are not playing.
And they want to play.
Okay, that's different. That's housekeeping. It has nothing to do with NVT leadership.
How can you say it has nothing to do with NVT? Because guess what? The ID problem was supposed to be housekeeping also.
But what I said,
but then they came in and they solved the problem.
What did I say about the ID problem?
Because
all 34 teams wanted it.
Okay.
What you are saying, like, so Charlotte doesn't have that problem.
True Lion is saying this.
That's not true.
True Lion is saying this, that we should gather all those teams that are having this problem so that we can bring the problem to the national level. With the weight of the number, now the national level will take it into consideration.
Exactly.
So that's what he's been saying. But I'm saying this, like, if the national level is not saying the risk that themselves are running, letting it go.
Who's national?
So,
I mean, the Kamdal, Arlington, that's you. That's national.
Innocent. And that's the reason I keep telling you. That's the reason why when you guys said JB and the rest of them are doing a good job, I tell you they're not doing a good job. Because guess what? Let me learn, please. If me and you, Arlington, you just said now that Arlington and Kamdal are the main people, right? That's what you just said.
No.
That's what you just said.
No, it was like all the teams.
Okay,
all the teams that form the national veteran.
Let me finish, right?
That's okay.
If me already, who is a media person, you understand? I'm already telling you that almost all the teams in Texas already have that issue. Why do you think they're coming to complain to Nasako? You understand? And do you think they're not complaining to these JBs? Do you know why they are complaining to me and not complaining to them? Or it looks like they're not complaining to them? Because these people have already complained to them and they are giving a deaf ear. Let me tell you, people are coming to complain to me because they know I have a platform. I have a voice. You understand? When I talk about these things,
they will listen.
Maybe they will listen.
Maybe.
Is that how it's supposed to be? That's not how it's supposed to be. That's why I say the management, the EXCO, right now, they are failing. It might look like...
No,
let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I said, it might look like the numbers are good.
What numbers?
The numbers they claim.
Didn't you just say they just made about 1.5 in this thing?
And that's why I keep telling you. That's the problem we have in the community.
Without money,
let me tell you, something, right? I'll be honest with you, right? One of the biggest problems we have with the community is we focus on the little things that looks really good and we ignore the really big problem that is there. At the moment, the only problem, right, that NVT has, if they can manage to fix this problem, right, that group, I guarantee you, there's a possibility it will run for the next 10 to 20 years.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me finish. I'm not stating the problem. And the only problem is the fact that those who are supposed to be registered veteran members, you understand, 80 to 90% of them don't feel like we are part of this whole thing.
Exactly.
When it comes to the national level, we cannot continue to be like that. You brought up the problem of resources circulating in our community. One of the ways we can actually assure that resources are circulating in our community is to make sure the people who are taking part, are participating, are playing, and doing all of these things, 80 to 90% are coming from our community. Another issue they have, which will still fall back to the fact that it is only kicking away people who are supposed to be playing, who are not playing, is the whole issue. Malik just stated that personally he feels like they should raise the age to 38 and 40 and above. What are they trying to solve? What issue are they trying to solve if they're raising the age?
They're trying to kick the young players.
Let me finish. They're trying to kick out the young players because they want people who are actually registered veteran members to participate. And that is the same concern I'm bringing up. You understand? You cannot say, even if you say 50 and above, and then with the 50 and above, it's still 100 Mexicans that are playing, 40,000 Kenyans, and all of this. It will not make any sense. One of the biggest issues we had with Arlington Veteran that started sounding the alarm for us was a player who invited their wife, brought their kids. After they have bragged to their wife that I'll go to training every Wednesday and Saturday and all of these things, and their wife bought the kids or everything that they're supposed to buy, they came first of all to, I think, or was it? No, it was not in Minnesota. No, it was not. I think it was Houston. They came over there, and guess what? This guy did not even wear the maillot and anything, and the wife made fun of them for the rest of the year. You understand? There's another guy who came for the training session, and so for some reason had an injury. I'm very committed. They break their hand during the training session, and then during the national tournament, you will not even give him a chance to play. Do you think this person will be encouraged to continue? You tell me.
For me, that's not even an issue. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that you're gonna play. When you go to play for football, there's no guarantee that you're gonna play.
Which I don't deny. Which I don't deny. But it's different when the reason I'm not playing is because True Lion is supposed to start.
Yeah.
And he's registered like me. He's committed like me and everything.
Maybe he's better than me.
But that's what I'm saying. That's housekeeping stuff, man. Those are things that
just like the IT problem was housekeeping stuff.
No, listen.
You were saying something really good, and I was trying to align with you. If you say it's a housekeeping issue, that means you're just kicking it out to the teams, all right? But now I told you that these teams, they are running based on the national rules and regulations, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
That means if the national level we decide that this is how we're gonna run it, that's how it's gonna be.
But bro,
it's gonna be a house thing to just align with the national rule and regulations.
Bro.
So that's why we give ourselves that national committee
let me ask you a question.
Things.
No, let me ask you a question.
All right.
Let me ask you a question.
You always say you want to ask question, but you
go
make
ahead.
statement.
Yeah, let me make a statement.
Make a statement.
Good one, though.
Go ahead.
Let me make a statement, right?
Yeah.
Where do you get your data from? Like when you're coming with all these numbers.
Like what numbers?
The complaints.
No, give me one specific complaint, and then I'll tell you how I got the data.
The complaints that these guys, registered members, don't train. They go to training, they don't play.
Okay, so let me tell you where we're getting that data from. Number one, I belong to Arlington Veteran, and I've seen Arlington Veteran move from one of the best group around the community,
and large group.
I mean, if I say around the community in DFW and even nationally, you understand, it has moved from that to 3 days before the national tournament that we had in Minnesota. We couldn't afford 5 players in our training session. I'm telling you, 3 days. To the extent that Arlington veteran was counting on Nasako, that has not touched the football fee for at least 8 months. You understand? Now, Koshino vex to me. You understand? Now, back in the days, you
No, I
understand?
just actually, is that your?
No, let me finish. I
Is that
started with Arlington veteran. That is where the base data is coming from. Now, as Toridey, I was talking to you about Nasako and Arlington veteran.
Mhm.
As Toridey,
Mhm.
one thing that happens is it's
Just
difficult.
name them.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
It's difficult for 1 month to go by without me and him visiting a veteran group and talking to them.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me to do 1 month without having a veteran come here. Even if they're not talking about veteran football, they will talk about other things, right?
Okay.
And then they'll end.
I'm good with that. Okay, let me continue. How have they channeled their complaints? To whom have they? They're telling you.
Let me
Nasako
answer.
is not part of the.
Let me answer.
And
let me answer.
you even answer
Let me answer the question already.
You did.
Guess what? They have been complaining to the right authority. And just like I made the suggestion about the symposium on the forum, and one of the members who belong to the ESCO actually came, and their answer, instead of them to say, hey, this is a good idea or this is a bad idea, we'll look into it.
Because let me tell you this.
Let me finish.
No, I'm happy with your answers.
Let me just answer.
Go ahead.
You know what is even funny about that symposium thing? To be honest with you, it was not even originally my idea. It was an idea of some other persons who has pushed the idea to them and they did not respond. And then they came to Toridey because they feel like Toridey is a voice.
But Toridey, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
We want so many things done in so short time.
No, we don't want so many things.
I'm telling you, this is my experience.
We want one thing to be done.
No,
all right.
No, this is my experience.
Can I ask you one question too?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you, as a Emeritus Secretary General of NVT, if some member of any random team of NVT come to you and say, hey, Mr. Secretary General, I've seen that this issue is going on, what would you have done?
I'll send them to their team. They have to come. They say, why do we to channel this thing? Because you are telling me 50,000 people things, and the people are telling me different things. That's not the right channel.
Okay.
When I just quoted you, when they wanted IDs to be done, it was done. Why? Because everybody wanted it. So where you are, you have to be smart, right? They say mosquito will land for picking for man picking. Softly
they take her out.
I like what you come up with talk now, how you're telling me each channel and through the right witty, right? But it's funny how me and you sit all the time on social media and we're wanting to tell Fika Food what to do, Samuel Eto'o what to do.
I never tell them what to do.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying. We try to say, oh, this should have been done like this. Oh, why did they call this PR? They should have called this one. Oh, this person is this. At the end of the day, we cannot build a community when people don't have opinions. You understand?
Oh, no. And everyone is having their opinion. Go ahead. Yeah.
Everyone should have an opinion. Especially when, let me finish.
Agree.
Especially when I'm a registered member to a veteran group.
Agree.
You understand?
Agree.
And then all I did was, hey guys, this is not even my complaint. Members call me and complain because, like I told you, they know this guy is Toridey. He has a voice. Sako, they don't go Austin. They asked me how much was it, 50 or 300 or something? $50. They go Austin. They fail first of all. They don't win the cup. They come back. We ask them. We ask them. Say, okay, we know so I don't fee for that level, but I thought so I don't fee. But now when I give us a breakdown of how I spend money, they say, would they ask and who? You the ask and who? Because they are small 50. Man finish because they are small $50 where you put them.
That's bad.
Okay, if I should say that's bad, that's already disrespecting someone who, first of all, they registered because they wanted to be part of the whole thing.
They want to belong.
You did not give them that chance. You took their money and you went and brought in mercenaries. You understand? These mercenaries did not even win anything. First of all, it starts to kill the momentum. Well, we want to go for Minnesota. We had about maybe 30 players. People who felt like they can still give it even 5 minutes. Now, we are going to, no, that was Austin. We are going to Minnesota, right? You come and you say, oh, it's no more $50, it's $300. Whereas you have not given accountability to the first money. You understand? And then people come and say, oh, no, you cannot do this. You have to. And then they don't even treat you. That's why I keep telling you, the problem with And the problem is everywhere. I know what I'm talking about, True Lion.
No, it's not everywhere.
No, it is.
It's not
I
everywhere.
mean,
No,
we
I have
cannot
an
say
example. I can
100%.
give you an example, right?
we
I'll give you an
cannot say
example.
100%,
And that's why I say
but
these things are housekeeping stuff, right? The way you lay your foundation is very, very important, right?
Yeah,
In
I
the
agree with
beginning,
you.
if you have a structure that keeps everybody, that demands 3, 4, 5 signatures,
Mhm.
you know, from
Yeah.
people before money goes on
It
and
goes
all that.
out, yeah.
You already solve a lot of problems
Three,
at that,
that's
at
Three,
the
four,
base,
5
right?
people who are I don't want to use the word miscreants because I'll come out this
Yeah.
level. 3, 4, 5
You know,
people
so,
can
again,
still connive.
Yeah, but it's gonna be more difficult, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit difficult.
It's gonna be a little bit
more
difficult.
What
true.
you
And
answer
listen,
you answer now with Zoom.
No,
but listen,
no,
no.
not true, because let me tell you something. Before we get to this administration, we have a previous that wanted 3 people signing on the account. But I don't even want us to go, like you say, it's a housekeeping issue.
Yes, yes.
Let's go.
And the reason why I say it's housekeeping,
let's go to
it's
the
just
general
because
problem.
the reason I say it's housekeeping, if you start listening to, because when you are in a team, in a group of people, you have to start learning people's character, right? And how people, their level of reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? In different ways you tackle them. You understand? Yeah, that's very important, because some people are just there.
Malik Semo give Gwyneth shout out.
No.
Camera dad give Gwyneth their shout out before Malik fire away.
Man, Gwyneth veterans, man, they have been a lot of. I mean, I know a lot of guys from the Gwyneth veteran and how they run their business, right? One thing I would like to advise Gwyneth veterans to do is to give us a foundation on how they build their house, because those are one of the teams I can refer people to.
Very
go
consistent
to Gwyneth, and even Kamdal. I don't know how Kamdal is now. My
No,
boy Chiso. But listen, my experience.
No, call Kamdal. You call Kamdal for example.
I understand.
Stay with Gwyneth.
Okay,
Stay
yeah,
with Gwyneth.
that's why I say I don't know how they are now. But Gwyneth, Hassan, Jose, I don't know if you guys know Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys have a module that actually runs very good from them.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes we should be asking
them how they do it.
And then you should look at the way, due to that, they won a lot of things. Because when you talk about a guy like Malik,
yeah,
I first knew Malik in Oklahoma when we went and played
MVT.
I just like his
2018.
energy. I just like his energy, very respectful and all that.
Yeah.
That's one guy I will always call,
Mm-hmm.
once in a while. Although I don't tell people that, but I always call once in a while.
Can I just ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you still want to see Malik play?
Of course,
The
it depends on him.
But guess what?
Uh-huh.
Malik is not wanting to play anymore. You know why?
Why?
Because he feels like the speed and everything about the competition.
The pace is too high.
I cannot keep up.
The pace is
you
too
know
high.
what?
And guess what?
Do you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, do you know why? Because
we are bringing younger players.
We are not only staying around our community. Guess what? And that's why I keep telling you.
No. Let me tell you also why. I've been knowing Malik, right?
The pace is
Malik
so high.
was very, very disciplined before, and still now he's disciplined. But I see him. Back then he drank maybe just half bottle of Guinness.
Yeah.
But now the guy drinks.
And that is the lifestyle of every veteran. Malik should be drinking. I should be drinking. Another person should be drinking. And then we go in there and then we clash.
Not really.
That's
A guy like
veteran.
me.
That's
A
veteran.
guy like me.
That's
I
veteran
encourage
spirit.
most guys to stop drinking. I've not been drinking now for about 12, 13, 14 years.
You're
that's
not a veteran. That's you.
I'm a veteran. But because
veteran means a drink, master.
Of course,
That's the social part of the.
But veteran means a drink, but you know me say chop report.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know me.
True, my point is the fact say, some young man like Malik, you understand? They already say, you know what? I know if he play me again because
the pace too high.
Pace don't high, and the pace high them because say now only Cameroonian veterans them make the pace high.
Mm-mm.
I remember
Now
they
Mercedes
were 2 hours already.
Yeah. Let's finish.
I remember very well. We went to Houston. Half time, I did struggle for catch my breath under that sun for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy for Atlanta.
He
don't finish play half time. He run round fee.
for half time.
But that's the problem. You know, I have guys they are younger than me, 10 years younger than me. They cannot keep up with True Lion.
True Lion.
Because of the lifestyle I live.
True Lion. And that is my concern. You understand?
You think Malik can run with me now?
Ma finish now.
Malik, please come.
My concern I say no. Until the national exco right now fix the problem where if you permit, may you know so you need to play, right? Now because you don't decide you know one play, but me another veteran will get your age, we want play.
Yeah.
Maybe able for play.
Play. If you
Now
want
what I
play.
say, X could not get the capacity.
No, they
have
get the
a fight.
capacity.
No, they don't.
They do.
Bro,
They get the capacity.
You
They
have
do.
to get, no.
They do.
How
They get
many?
the
They get
same-
the president,
the same-
secretary general,
the same
you-
way-
you-
The
you
same
know,
way
The same way
address
they
the age
fix
issue.
the age
no,
issue.
but
They
also,
can address that one
if
also.
they carry
it
that
was
one
with a
on
lot
their
of money.
Now what they tell you, say
So
no.
you want them to put,
And that's why I keep
No,
telling you.
it
That's
was
why I
a
keep
lot of
telling
money because they wanted to bring
they
in,
wanted to
some,
use money.
some a new
Technology. Of course, everything now also you need technology.
Exactly.
So you
But
need to
now,
track the players.
if you want
How are you going to track the players?
track which player, it's
I
simple.
said, this man don't provide solution for you 1
How?
million
How are you
times.
going to track the players?
Okay, ma tell you it's simple, right?
On a database, how are you going to track the players?
finish.
Me, I
You
will.
even claim for
How are you
don't
going to track
get
them?
I will.
How?
innocent. Ma answer
With
the
all
question.
these
Ma
moving
answer-
pieces, how are you going to track the players?
Innocent, ma answer the question. True Lion.
Mhm.
At the beginning of every veteran season, we send in the list. You know
With
why
age.
you know why ESCO they over insist for that
With
list.
age.
You know why they over insist for that list, and they even go ahead for people that name for insurance. You understand?
Exactly.
How about ESCO for beginning of the year? They say, you know what? You go send in your list of people the way you know saying already registered members, right? We go get insurance for them. And guess what? From that list of 40 people or 50 people or 100 people or 200 persons, so you send them. Now for them, you pool play veteran tournament.
Nah.
Because my finish.
Yeah.
So with the provide solution, now you deny. Because for you, it is only fair that at the end of the day, 2 days before tournament, May Island they go buy 23 persons where you know they for national list of veteran players. See no, any person who is watching, let's round up. I'll give them last word. We might talk. Any person who is watching, if you're a veteran member or whatever, it might look like we are progressing. It might look like the veteran tournament we made. Minnesota made 1.2 million. The numbers was crazy. They started asking for gate fee during national veteran tournament finals. You understand? It might look like progress, but at the end of the day, everything where it don't start, it blossom, and then it fail at the end. Now just the trajectory that. Look at the foundation of why we decided to invite teams every year to play the national veteran tournament. If I remember very well, the only reason why they decided to do that was because, hey, we'll get our veterans from Minnesota, we'll get veterans from Maryland, we'll get veterans all this way where they train every year. How about we gather and see people that skills again? How about we gather and we play and we make fun of each other?
Have fun.
How about we gather and we not only play and make fun of each other, but then we also network. You understand? Now, when we move from that mindset and it's all about winning, it's all about I can go get 23 players from wherever. And nowadays, you don't even see veteran players at the field. You only see them when there is a white party, when there's an ending ceremony, and when there's somebody burning beef somewhere, or there is some lady shaking some whatever bomb somewhere. What I'm saying is the issue of veterans getting back to playing. I want to see a guy and talk or play.
Yeah.
You understand? Even if you work on a one foot, I want to see you play.
If you want to play.
How they call the goalkeeper? I think he don't play
Cashman for Atlanta.
Yeah.
Grand Katika.
I want to see him. You understand? Even if in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but he plays.
Yeah.
Even if in 5 minutes.
He plays.
But guess what?
If you keep going that way, you won't play.
You know, play. If the national executive
people
not
are
put in
older,
place
man.
measures, people that they get older now,
they get
always,
conditions.
now
Health
always
conditions
they
too.
get older.
Everyone.
They get
You
health
understand?
conditions too.
Every year with
Boss,
with the age.
they get head condition, but then the all man get head condition. I don't give you example for Arlington veteran Bobby Peter,
And I see yesterday.
Dikaka, all of these guys.
Bobby Peter no be play.
If we continue,
I see the
more
ground
end the
yesterday.
show. What will be a fight? No, but the way you go about them, it just shows that because you need play, you don't want other people to play.
And at the same mentality, we want killer.
No.
What will be a final take?
Look, guys. I mean, this is a great show. Not everything. Well, we are not gonna agree or see eye on everything, right? But the little things that we see eye on, let's push it forward. Let's progress, and let's just hope that because this tournament, okay, in the next 10, 20 years, NVT, we want to see NVT be here and continue, right? Because there are so many opportunities. As I keep telling you guys, there are so many opportunities. Next year, World Cup go there. With the NVT get planned, in that aspect.
Exactly.
As far as we, as a group, we can join and buy group tickets and stuff like that. So those are ideas, we have to start pushing, you understand? And I tell you, filling the gaps, it makes for me, it's waste of energy, right? You go arguing with these guys. Keep it. You've learned your lesson. Look for a way you can add value to them, because when you add value to them, that is the biggest
I cannot be adding
challenge.
value to people who are not wanting to add value to my community.
No, but they are adding value to the community.
Conclude.
They're adding value to the community. So I just want us to look at different ways where we can solve problems. Look at different ways where we can, even if it means getting out of the scene for 2 years, then coming back in a refreshed mind. And that's why I like rotation. That's why I like rotation. Yeah. I'm not really active with NVT like that anymore, right? Because at certain times, this is life.
Yeah.
You get, it's more like stressful, right? You get burnt out and all that. So you take yourself out of the scene, and then one day someone sparks a conversation. But true lion, I wait to this. I need to see you again for NVT, or I need to see you again. But they don't know what you might have been going through. Family commitment, different things. So we cannot be all there at the same time, right? But let's make sure that our kids, some of them
can grow up to enjoy this.
Some of them some of them are refs. Let's give them the opportunity to come there and learn from us and ref, and let's pay them. Right. So that we continue to nurture. We have single moms. We're talking about this the other day. They have kids. Let's give them resources. Coach Ekeme is there. He can take care of you. I have my friend Josiah.
Coach Ekeme should be hosting symposiums during this tournament.
But
are we really encouraging him,
bro?
I'm not sure.
That's where you come in.
That's why we are here today.
Listen, Coach Ekeme is a busy guy, right? But I can come in and say, there is this gap, Coach Ekeme. I want you to be here, because I know that you can give your knowledge. I know that there's a mom over there with kids. She has 2-3 kids. And I know that there's this guy in the community who's an Uber driver. He can take the kids and go training and bring the kids back, So there are these little services that NVT.
Can you also add one service?
Go ahead.
The fact that the people who are older needs to exercise every day, and the easiest way to help them exercise is for these veteran groups to exist and continuing to value them so they can continue exercising. When you go to the NVT, at least give them a chance to play 5-3-10
Fire
minutes.
your coaches. Fire your coaches.
Well, I just came in at that service. I know.
And okay, the reason I said some of these things are housekeeping stuff, right? We should be hard on those that are our friends, because these people are our friends.
The reason I'm hard on JB,
one-on-one, you talk to them, and they'll go on the down low. When they get into a group, they become like vampires and all that. No, you should attack these guys one-on-one and talk to them as friends. You understand? This is what we have to do. This is what we do. Now, the majority is always going to rule, right? That's why I told you that it's housekeeping and it's not NVT problem, because if it becomes NVT problem, it means 34 teams would have gathered together. So that's my last word. But let's look for ways to solve problems, and let's not keep talking about the same things over and over.
Okay.
The final.
So, like we said, NVT is something we hold dear, and we want it to be here years after years. We want it to be a platform where a lot of talent are being showcased. All right. Like True Lion say, we can allow the kids to be rare. We can allow some people in our community to partake and to get benefit of the NVT as a whole. But like, we are here today because we want to point out this little problem, this not even little problem, this problem for us or for the whole community to pay attention to it, to fix it, so that we can grow bigger and higher. So today, if somebody wants to go home with something, let's go back to our basis. Let's get our member that wants to play veteran. Let's veteran football comes back to veteran player. Those who are willing to play, let them play. Those who are chipping in and they want to do something, they want to partake, may we give them opportunity to partake. So, and those presidents who are listening and that they want maybe, and those every veteran member who is listening who want to chip in something, well, we can reach out to Toridey, and we can always sit down again, share ideas like this. And we are pretty sure that these people from the national committee, they are listening, and for sure maybe some of our word or our statement here got frustrated them. I'm pretty sure as well that they got something good from this conversation. So we will keep having this kind of conversation. And please, all the presidents around that are struggling with this membership issue, come together, like True Lion said, for the national committee to take this into consideration. We have to come as a group together to solve this problem and make our NVT platform grow bigger, and last for longer and longer again. Thank you very much for watching.
Guys, first of all, I think as a community, we should stop using this making things great again. Every time we say that, I hear the name of some person that
I had that.
That's a joke.
That's
That's a joke again. But what we are saying is this competition is so valued. The NVT, not just the competition, but the body. And I remember back in the day, I would leave work and travel to just go take part, play the tournament, and then come back maybe the same day. It is something of value, something that has helped the community. I remember back in the days, I used to play with my brothers, like my grandfather, like Tobos and Follow Up, and how they call this other Pop Soul. Guys who were a little bit older than us, but they were making the effort. And you hear some of them come during the training and say, "Hey, bro, I need to take my high blood medication again." No. Because they were encouraged to first of all come for training, and most of them even believe. I remember when we went to Oklahoma, Ntikaka scored a goal, Bobby Peter scored a goal, and they made so much noise that every other person in the community wanted to show up and play. Yeah. That should be the spirit. The other day, President Tongwa, President Emeritus, he comes back. He's now playing again. You understand?
Yeah.
Tongwa is running the lines and things like that. We expect to see more persons like that. Now, this is the idea. We can have 40 real veteran players. Amongst us, we agree that let us go get 5 guys who can support us. But these guys are supposed to have character. They are supposed to show interest in belonging to the group.
That's
you understand? Yeah. That way, when we go to play and we fit in Tongwa, because Tongwa just needs to play a 5 minutes game. You make a pass to Tongwa and cannot run, you know, hey, you were not even supposed to make the pass like that. But if you go and bring in guys who don't even understand the dynamics of the group, they'll make a pass to Nasako, who is now heavy, and then they turn around and insult him or turn around and mock him. We have something that is beautiful.
It is.
If I'll reproach the national committee on anything, look for ways where we can go back to the basics. Make all the kind of money you want to make. I'm not interested in NVT money. Do whatever thing you want to do, but just make sure that the registered members, I'm talking about the people who at the local level register, make sure that they can start going back to train, make sure that they can have at least a playing time. That you when sit down and tune and say over 50 or over 45 or whatever, stop it. When I stop them. Over 50 for Minnesota, I saw guys who were not up to 50 wanting to participate.
Because they don't want because they're not fitting into the new competition.
We should start looking for how, even if Chula or no go play, you understand? But if he can train with a person, if even can help some person where they train. But when the whole mindset is we want to win, it's what do you call it? Bragging rights and this and that, everything budget don't move from Arlington veteran with 10,000, 15,000. Now they are looking for 75,000. And guess what?
Time don't change.
That's 75. That's 75. That's 75,000 who struggle for spend them. 50 to 60,000 will go leave our community. Thank you very much for today. If we said anything here that made you angry, for the two they talk. When I forgive them, when I wish for back talk. But if I talk anything for you, will make you vex. No saying that because you do something wrong. JB and the rest of the ex-school, you guys can do better. You guys can do far more better. If you don't solve the ID problem, and the only reason we want to decide to solve the ID problem is because I realize it a permit real veterans will play and express themselves. Then when should start thinking about this new concern, which is the fact that because with the flooding so many players, when they're actually veterans for the local veteran clubs, it's actually keeping our real veterans out from playing. When I found ways of them, JB, if you're actually as good as they say you're good, go ahead and solve that problem, and then
JB, you are good. I'll say that.
By the way, shout out to everybody who was watching, Malik and the rest of them. See so many people they watch with their pseudo accounts. They know what I mean. No studio they did it, they watch.
Shout out to you
thank-
guys.
Thank you very much, though. Shout out to my brother Emil. Emil is a francophone brother I met in Sangmelima. We don't be friends now for more than how many years? And the guy is just so
More than 15 years.
God, this is crazy.